Welcome back, everybody. My name's Token D Rock. Hopefully, all of you are having a wonderful Monday afternoon. It is 2:53 p.m. I am starting a few minutes late. Sorry about that. I just wanted to make the stream as concise and content-filled as possible. Looking at the overall crypto market cap, Bitcoin has come down quite a bit since last week. Overall, crypto market cap is sitting at $1.672 trillion. Bitcoin dominance sitting right around the same area at 42.3%. ETH dominance at 17.6%. Looking at the prices, Bitcoin did break below 37.5 within the past hour. Ethereum did get pretty close to 2,400. I do have a limit order for that. BNB below 400 again. Luna finally retracing after going on a ridiculous rally to roughly almost $100. Solana back around $80. Cardano back below 80 cents. It is Monday, you guys. Got to go over our interest payouts over on Celsius. You can see for this week we made 0.0000148 Bitcoin, roughly $6 in interest, and we earned just a little bit over $4 in Ethereum. Going on to the Bitcoin 1-minute chart, we have been seeing a lot of signs from RSI that's been signaling Bitcoin's been overbought, and typically when Bitcoin is overbought, we can expect some downside movement. Now, you don't want to rely entirely on RSI considering volatility in the market surrounding the war in Ukraine and stuff like that. You can't rely on this single indicator. You need to draw your lines of support and stuff like that. Maybe look at different levels of volume coming in and out of the market, different price points and stuff like that. It's another thing you want to be looking at. And then on the hourly, we have a doji star. We will see some confirmation here in the next, I'd say, 12 hours, whether we see a reversal in the market. Now, a doji star
is a bullish reversal candlestick pattern that is found in a downtrend and consists of two candles. First comes a long red candle, followed by a doji candle that opens below the body of the first candle, creating a gap. It is considered a reversal signal with confirmation during the next trading day. So
if we see a breakout of this downside momentum and we see some rallying to the upside, it will be confirmed that this doji star indicator was indeed correct. But looking at the bigger picture, you guys, we're still in a downtrend. We're roughly at 118 days, or about 17 weeks since the all-time high. What do these little circles mean? Well, I'm kind of highlighting here that Bitcoin did touch this 32.9 level of support and it bounced, and Bitcoin then came down roughly to 34K. What I'm trying to elaborate here is it got pretty close to hitting the 34,000 line of support and then bounced. Could we be seeing a pattern here, moving up one line of support at a time? Essentially, could we be seeing Bitcoin bottoming out next at 36K? I don't know. I'm not going to act like I have a crystal ball, but I do need to talk to you guys about interest changes over on Celsius. You are no longer earning 6.2% on your Bitcoin if you're staking it over on Celsius. They dropped their interest rate down to 5%. I expect to see them dropping interest rates for other crypto like Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, etc. Voyager will probably follow suit. If you guys haven't been paying attention, the SEC has had Voyager and Celsius in their crosshairs and has been kind of going behind the scenes and figuring out how each company or each platform / exchange goes about paying out staking and stuff like that. As we discussed in the previous video, Voyager makes money off the spread. So before you go to buy, it says 34,300, for example. You'll really be paying 34,500, and that's how Voyager makes their money. Not too sure about Celsius, but I have faith that both of them won't be hit nearly as hard as BlockFi. BlockFi got decimated because they were completely about loans and lending and stuff like that, and SEC didn't like that, so they got squashed for it. But I also wanted to reiterate that I do have these limit orders still in place. A few of them have filled since then. We had a limit order fill at 40K a few days ago, back on March 4th. We also had a limit order today fill at 1:30 p.m., just about an hour before we went live on the stream. Stacking some Bitcoin, got some VGX as well. We had a limit order at $1.70 that we talked about last week. It was going to be our scaffolding to the upside because VGX, I believe, went to like $1.85. Again, trying to lower that cost average on the VGX token. So I bought some at $1.70, bought a little more at $1.60, and I had a limit order at $1.50 that just filled about an hour and a half ago. So Kremlin basically came out and said today that they will stop invading Ukraine. They will stop destroying cities, destroying buildings, killing people. They will stop all of that if NATO and the EU can give Russia their word that Ukraine will remain neutral and will never join the EU or NATO. Personally, I don't see them working out a deal with this because it is very obvious, in my opinion, that the Western powers or the Western hegemony, which includes, the US, UK, Canada, France, etc., they would prefer to have Ukraine on their side. Now, a large majority of Ukrainians do align more with the Western hegemony than, say, the Russian or the Chinese or Eastern hegemony, but there are still citizens in select regions of the country that do want to be part of Russia. So there's that. Personally, like I said, I don't think they're going to figure out a negotiation, more or less see maybe the country get divided, split in two, and that'll be the compromise for the time being. Who knows if that compromise gets dissolved within a year or two, who knows, but we will see more volatility in the market. So always have some cash on the side. I'm actually thinking of getting rid of some of these lower limit orders because if this falls through, like if Bitcoin were to go to 25K, I would be donezo. I would have no money to deploy if Bitcoin were to go to 25K. As you can see, I have limit orders down to 28K, but if Bitcoin does take a leap of faith and falls down, it's not going to be good. I won't have any cash to deploy. So I'm really considering getting rid of some of these limit orders and putting them in USDC.
Dozens of American corporations and tech companies are stopping business with Russia. The most interesting, reported by Wall Street Journal, cut off by Visa and MasterCard, Russian banks said they will turn to China's UnionPay. It shows Russia may increasingly rely on China as it gets isolated by the West. Interesting strategy by American corporations. Let's lose power and lose customers, hand an area with over 100 million people in it to a Chinese company? Sounds pretty stupid to me, but what do I know? What do you think? Is this a good idea from American companies, or will it backfire?
I do not think it's a great idea for MasterCard and Visa to do what it's doing because in the end, they are essentially bringing back Cold War. We will have two parallel economies where those countries within that specific economy trade amongst each other for supplies, resources, etc., while the other coalition or alliance or whatever, which would be China and Russia in this case, will work together along with maybe like Pakistan, Iran, North Korea, India, probably to an extent, maybe Brazil, again, talking about BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and then I believe South Africa is included in that acronym, if I remember correctly. But I don't think this is good, you guys. I talked about the other day how Russia did declare that they're going to be supplying China with oil for the next 30 years. That's pretty significant because if the Western hegemony continues its rhetoric, Russia will be almost explicitly selling oil to China. So that's not good. Again, Putin's making a lot of money right now. Julian Assange, he was imprisoned a few years ago for being a whistleblower via WikiLeaks about a lot of government corruption around the globe and stuff like that. But just listen to what he says.
One of the hopeful things that I've discovered is that nearly every war that has started in the past 50 years has been a result of media lies. The media could have stopped it if they had searched deep enough. If they hadn't reprinted government propaganda, they could have stopped it. But what does that mean? Well, that means basically populations don't like wars, and populations have to be fooled into wars. Populations don't willingly and with open eyes go into a war. So if we have a good media environment, then we'll also have a peaceful environment. One of the hopeful...
So essentially what he's saying there is that, you and me do not benefit anything from this conflict over in Ukraine, but the higher ups, the presidents, the prime ministers, the leaders of this world benefit a lot from this war. And that is precisely why you've seen propaganda from a clip of this woman telling the Russian soldier to put seeds in his pocket so when he's ashes, plants will grow over his remains or whatever, to the ghost of Kiev. And then you had the Snake Island ordeal where 13 Ukrainians supposedly told the Russian warship to go F themselves, and supposedly they all died, and turns out days later, but some of them were captured. So again, propaganda is a very dangerous tool, so you guys need to be privy and aware of this stuff, that it's out there, and to not fall for it, because again, we the people do not benefit from wars, and we need to be tricked into fighting them, because otherwise we won't do it. We don't like war. Most people do not like war. Most people do not benefit from it. The ruling class, the military industrial complex, they benefit largely from this. And what's kind of funny is over on Twitter, they put this thing, disinformation, when people intentionally create false or misleading information to make money, have political influence, or to maliciously cause trouble or harm. Why do people share disinformation? Money, political gain, to cause confusion, to sow mistrust, misinformation. When people share disinformation because they don't realize it's false or misleading, often because they're trying to help or want to feel part of a community. Why do people share out of fear and wanting to protect people they care about or connect with others who are sharing similar information? It is pretty ironic that this is on Twitter right now, because via Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, I'm seeing so much propaganda via misinformation, disinformation, whatever it may be, from people that I know, okay? And what's funny is this misinformation and disinformation that they're talking about needs to go away or whatever, like people need to stop spreading or whatever, they're perpetuating it, okay? Because CNN, Fox News, I'm not picking sides on the political spectrum. They all play this game, okay? They tell you X, Y, and Z is happening in Ukraine. Look at this clip, blah, 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 blah. Again, they don't do the research because they know they're going to get the most viewership if they have this explosive headline that catches eyes. You know what I mean? So it's in their best interest to not really dig deep into the validity or the source material. You know, it's sad, but it's happening. And one last thing, again, not to be doom and gloom, but Coinbase says it's blocked 25,000 Russian accounts as the crypto exchange steps up its effort to stamp out illicit activity. Okay, this is again rather interesting, because Coinbase just a week ago was talking about how it will not freeze Russian accounts. It will not do that, because the US and NATO asked them, hey, can you block crypto wallet accounts, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. That's not what crypto's about. And here you go. Coinbase said Monday has blocked 25,000 crypto wallets belonging to Russian users linked to illicit activity. Again, you guys, what is this illicit activity? Why can't they go into details over what this illicit activity is? Thing is, you guys, like, you have to realize, if you're not part of the status quo, anything you're doing, you know, if you're spreading information that goes against the narrative, that could be considered illicit activity. What about the people that are highlighting the police brutally beating protesters over in Russia right now, that are saying no more war? They're holding their hands up as a sign like, hey, look, I'm unarmed. You're going to beat me for saying something that I believe in. There's clips of that going around on Facebook, Instagram, and stuff like that. So is that illicit activity because you filmed that? Like, you guys have to think about this long and hard. Like, where is this leading? So personally, you guys, I am probably going to move some of my crypto off of these exchanges, even off of Voyager, off of Celsius, because your crypto, if you do not own your keys, it's not your crypto. It's that simple. Like, again, if you happen to go against the status quo, you're saying some things that they don't like, they could freeze your account. I'm susceptible to this too. You know, there could be a point in time where we see people get blocked left and right off of YouTube because of their beliefs, you know, regarding this whole invasion of Ukraine and the whole world politics that's going on. Like, it's kind of interconnected in a lot of ways, but again, I'll just leave it at that. I think it is extremely wrong for Coinbase to be blocking over 25,000 addresses related to Russian individuals or entities that they believe are engaging in illicit activity. Where's the proof? Okay. You're just throwing a vague assumption out there, with no evidence to back it up. So personally, this is not a good look for crypto, not a good look for coins, not a good look for centralized exchanges. Best way to preserve your crypto is just put it in a cold wallet. Don't even leave it on an exchange. Am I doing that right now? Like I said, I'll probably look to move some of my crypto off the exchanges just to keep it safe and sound. That way I have access to my keys and no one else does, etc. But I will keep probably a good chunk of my crypto on exchanges just to earn that interest while we still can, because remember guys, those interest rates are going down. Don't forget about it. We could see like Celsius rate, you know how it's 5% right now for Bitcoin. We could see 4.5% probably in the next month. It was just 6.2% 2 weeks ago, and then they did the switch within the past week. I didn't even realize it till this morning, to be honest. So just a heads up, you guys. I think we're going to be seeing Cold War 2.0. We're going to see China, Russia, India, Pakistan, Iran. They're probably going to be buddying up, allying with one another, supplementing each other with different resources that the other one doesn't have. And the US will do the same thing with the UK, Mexico, Germany, etc., France. You get what I mean, the Western hegemony. They're going to work together while the Eastern hegemony is going to work together, but they're going to work separate. So looking at the 1-minute chart, we are seeing that Bitcoin is overbought again. So reiterating this little marking back here that we saw not too long ago, I think we're still going to go down. Like we could go back here to 36,000. We could see 34,000. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but I think it's possible. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Do you think MasterCard, Visa, cutting off ties for Russians, do you think that's a good, bad thing? If you have a reason why that's a good or bad thing, let me know down below in the comment section. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about this, because a lot of people are being completely silent right now. If they're not being completely silent right now, they're talking out of their ass, to be honest, because a lot of people don't know what's going on. They do not do their own research. They just listen to Fox News or CNN and they just take their word for it, which is ludicrous if you ask me. Those publications, those news outlets thrive off of fear, and they don't have your best interest in mind, is what I'm trying to put out there. I got some links down below for you guys to take advantage of if you want to earn some interest while you still can over on Voyager and Celsius. Got some links down below for that. If you want to get trading, got a link for Binance as well. That about does it for today, everyone. I will have a stream 10 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow. No excuses. I might be a few minutes late, but I'm not pushing it back to 1 p.m. like I've been doing as of late. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Appreciate the support. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live next. And until next time, everyone, keep a cool head. Meditate if you need to, relax. Don't think this is the end of the world, and invest wisely. Take care. Bye.